Hey, what's going on, guys? Today's video I'm going to be showing you how to fix your main board. This specific model is the LG55LW5600. As you know, the main boards, they go out. This is the known problem, very common in the LG TVs, where you turn it on and it just does not light up, right? It blinks a couple times red, and then we have the little symbol down here on the bottom right. And then there's no picture. You might see a little halo of a backlight, or maybe not a backlight at all in my case. If it was completely dark, you might see a little halo down there trying to illuminate up. And in this video, guys, I will show you the locations of if you buy a repair kit and try to solder on the little chips itself. I did that, and I will tell you it did not work for me. So your best case scenario, because I know a lot of you guys are not micro soldered kind of people, is just to wait for a good deal on a main board on eBay. I just have seen a couple of them and they sell very fast. If you find one below $100, snatch it up. Just make sure that it's a fully working board and not a repair service. If you want to send it in for repair, you can, but I would buy a board from a cracked panel TV, meaning the board still works, but the TV LCD panel, someone threw something into it, and that is your best bet. Unfortunately, we missed out on the main board. It sold very quickly on eBay, but we will pay attention for the next one. So that is my recommendation. Just buy yourself a working main board. Put the main board in instead of dealing with soldering. But if you want to go the soldering route, continue to watch the video. But the main board you replace it with, if it's a working main board, will fix this problem. So I have the repair kit. We're going to be resoldering those onto the main board. So this video will show you how to do that. First thing we do need to do, though, is we need to take off the back of the TV. There are small Phillips screws all the way down. All these small Phillips screws all the way over the top. We probably will have to remove the bottom TV stand as well, and probably the wall mount bracket screws right here in the middle. This should just literally pull right off the bat, but there's going to be a ton of screws on this bad boy. There's going to be small screws located like right underneath here, right over here, right there, etc. We'll try to give you a final count when we do have it off, or if there's any hidden ones that are kind of hard to see. So you will have to remove the TV stand here, and what you want to do is you want to lay the TV on something very soft here. I have a nice little shag carpet here, and then you have 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, and 4. But before you remove those, there will be a slight tilt because of the plastic right here. So what you want to do is you want to hold it up with one hand, because if you try to unscrew it, there's going to be pressure on the plastic and it's going to bend or possibly crack on you. So be careful with that. Hold it with one hand, remove the screws, and then it will just remove here from the little slot here. I did remove this little square here as well. That's for the power supply. If you want to get rid of that whole entire thing there, clamp that in, which I will do. Clamp that in and then pull that out. Well, not much to it after that. The back comes right off. I actually just snaked my cord through the little hole, remove the back paneling here. Real simple, just literally grab it and pick it up and do that. You don't have too much here, guys. This is a very, very thin one. You got the power supply, you got the main board, then you got, I believe, your TCON board underneath here, or another type of board, whatever it's called. I call it a TCON board. But just 3 boards, that's why it's so thin here. This is the culprit right there. If you don't feel like soldering it, then just replace the main board. It's going to be pretty pricey, but if you don't feel like soldering, obviously very simple. Just unplug all the hooks, unscrew it, put the new one in, pop everything back in, put the back on. You're good to go if you want to go the already fixed route on the main board. But we're going to be putting in the new chip. So the more detailed route, we're going to unrelease this one here, 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 here. And then most of these you just push down, pop off like that. Just gotta be a little careful, you know. You don't have to be, I mean, like ant careful, but again, push down, that one pops out. These ones push in. It's kind of hard to do with one hand, but some of these tabs you gotta push in, some of these you push down. So just kind of concentrate on which ones are which. This one is like push in, push in, push in. This one is push down, as was that very first one. And then this one's a push down. And just be careful because you don't want to replace these little ribbons here. And then you do have some screws. You have one here, Phillip, one over here, one right here, one right here. Doesn't look like there's any in the middle. I think we already got that off the back of it. So we'll go ahead and remove those, the rest of the ribbons, pull this board out. This one, it's easier actually if you dig your fingernails in and push up while you're pulling on both sides instead of pushing in. That's a little bit of a pain in the booty. Let's try this one too. I think this one is the same. All right, these are my little fixed parts. They're very, very small. If you don't feel like doing any soldering, then of course skip this step. Get your whole board here. But as we can see here, the board is now flipped upside down. And what's really cool is it's gonna be really hard to pick it up on camera, but right next to these little transistors, there are numbers. There, you can see it right there. So we have 506 right in front of us and 505. Those are going to be those parts right there. And then we have Q507. Just make sure you are looking at the proper one. Q is on the bottom underneath it right here. Those are the ones we're looking at right there. And Q507, I'll let you know where that one is in a second, but 506 and 505 are right down here. All right, guys, 505 and 506 are in. If you do not feel comfortable with micro soldering, skip it and buy the whole board, or send it in for the service. Fine point soldering pin would be absolutely fantastic as well, tweezers. And I took it off already, but Q507 is located right there to the left of 505, 506.